All right. Think I got everything set up. How you guys doing? So it looks like the stream was perfect timing today. We were sitting right at 9,800 as I started getting the audio and everything figured out. And shoot, now it looks like we're testing 10,100. All right. Let me know in the comment section how the sound is doing. Just doing a sound check. It's easier for you guys to let me know how it's working or how it's sounding. I finally got rid of the amp that was with my my Turtle Beach headset, and I'm just using the mic that's actually built into the computer, so the sound should be a little bit better. No, this pattern formation's been in the works for the last couple days, since the 15th. I know we had our dip, but if you look here, it's not perfect, but the bearish momentum that we had on our pattern, or on this latest wave, it's less than what this one was. Roughly about July 15th, 16th. And we got our snake eyes buy signal on the 4-hour. So we're going to be facing a little bit of resistance. I mean, we're sitting right above it right now. But our next resistance areas that we're going to be looking for is going to be roughly about that 10,300 area. So I don't want to get too excited, you know, until we... because this could be a fake out, but for some reason with this entire dip that we've been experiencing, it hasn't felt like a dip that I wanted to short, at least for now. Now, I do have this red line, and what this represents is it's just our short-term, what's the right word? It's basically just pushing the price down, just like I have this one. You know, for our bullish. So we held support. We were talking in decentralized minds. It's like it's like the Gandalf magic spell. But 9,600 held. We broke it temporarily a few times. What did we hit? Like maybe $20, $30 under it. But we seem to bullishly bounce off it each time. And market cipher here, you can see on the RSI right here, We're turning green, starting to point up. So on the higher time frames, it's looking good. We're pushing. Let's see here. Let's see what the price is on Binance. Come on, get off there. So we're hitting this 10,100 area right now. It's going to be interesting to see how this holds. You can actually see where these moving averages on Binance are about to touch. Let's pull our moving averages here on... I'm going to get this actually a little bit bigger. All right, so we got our green, which is our 5. These are smooth averages. We have our green and red. So your red's going to represent your 10 and your green's going to be your 5. They're your more swing trading patterns. They're now pointed up. It's going to be really good if we can get this the 5 to pierce the 10 on here, especially for short-term movement. I really want to see us break 10,300 because if we could break that, we would break this short-term line that's just been holding us down. You could say we've been in a more longer-term ascending triangle, but it's not really that perfect, so... Yeah, because I don't like those wicks. I would say it's more of a symmetrical triangle than an ascending triangle. Alright, so we're basically just chilling right now. Let me know in the comment section on your coin requests. So your targets for Bitcoin right now, obviously we have that 9,600 area, but more short term, just because I've been watching the price action all day, you really want to see that 9,800 area hold if we happen to drop back down. And your next resistance line is going to be just about at 10,300. And then after that, your next resistance line is going to be... Actually, I need to move this down. It's going to be roughly about that 10,700. Oh, I'm sorry, 10,800. So you have support at 9,600 and 9,800 right now. And your first resistance line is going to be 10,300. With your next line at roughly about 10,008. I really, though, I want to see us break this. If we can break 10,300, I think we could get a really decent push. Especially if we can break 11,000. Because on the longer time frames, if you look here, we're making lower highs. So we really, especially on this 4-hour time frame, I want to see us at least break 11,000, about 11,100. I mean, we could still technically maybe move up and make another lower high, but as we found out a couple weeks ago, we could break this short-term lower high by breaking 11,000. Oh, I'm sorry, 11,100. And if for some reason this is a trap, which I'm not too sold on it yet, I want to see what Bitcoin does above 10,000. Like I said, you'll have your 9,600 support. Got a nice little, it's not that big of a deal, but we have a nice little line roughly at about 9,050. I need to turn that green. And like I said, shoot your coin requests down below. I have the comment section working now, so. Let's get our fib retracements on here. Let's get this perfect. Just want to see where we're bouncing off. So I'm actually going to use our short term here. All right. Just gives me a little bit better picture. All right. So there's Bitcoin for you. So you have your 9,600, 9,800 support. If we get really bearish, you'll have your 9,050 with your first area of resistance being at 10,300. And then your 10,800 area. I'm gonna do this real quick. Should take just a second. All right. Sorry about that. Forgot to get those set. So there's Bitcoin for you. I really want to see us break that 10,300 area. That'd be real nice. Nothing about this dip really screamed, you know, short. All right. So ETH, we kind of have the same setup. We have this support line that's kind of holding us up. This started all the way back from March. It's just basically a momentum line. You know, I'm not really actually sure what the exact name of it is, but it's just a momentum area that we seem to find bottom of, or you know, bottoms in and bounce off of. But just like Bitcoin, they look very, very similar. Actually, I need to move that down. So on ETH here, you're going to have a support level. I'm going to get this drawn real quick. Trying to get these candle closes. All right, so ETH right now, it looks like we rejected it, but it's still a little early. We're trying to get past that 225 area. You can see where we rejected it right up here. It's still early though. So for resistances, you're gonna have that 225 and then your 235. If for some reason we got really bullish, wow, you could actually be looking around that 280 mark. Look how many touch points that has. Yeah, XRP is moving. I'm going to look at that just in a second. So, with XRP, or I'm sorry, with Ethereum, we really want to break this 225 area. It's still early, but if you look real close once again, you can see rejected right off of it. But then let's just say we do get rejected. We're going to have resistance at roughly that, I'm going to call it just that 200, that psychological support. And then you'll have this uprising support, which is pretty much in that same area. I wouldn't get too bearish until we break this. This goes all the way back till March. Let's look at XRP. It probably honestly has the most to move up. I know XRP lately, it's kind of been lagging. All right, so you know the support lines work when it's like that. So looking at XRP, we bounced right off of our 30-cent support. Looks like our current price, we're sitting just under 32 cents. You're gonna have a little bit of resistance right at that 32 area, but see where this data goes back. Yeah, I honestly don't see that 32 cent area being too hard. Honestly, looking at the past data, I think that 34, 35 cent area is going to be your next target. But I've talked about this the last couple streams. That 36, 38 cent area held up for support for a very long time. So, I mean, it's when you break old support, it becomes resistance. So, you know, being that it's a 32 cent asset, you know, my gosh, even that 3 cent move up to 35, even if rejected it, that's a 10% move. So that's still pretty good. And if we look at market cipher, I'm going to go to the shorter time frames. All right. So on the looking at market cipher B, it's not super clear. Okay, actually, I take that back because we're having this little momentum line here. So what this is on market cipher B is this is your bearish momentum and this is your bullish momentum up top. And so you can tell, like, so if you had a line that was real short like this and then you have a tall one, that shows obviously that the bearish momentum is growing. But you can kind of see here, it's not perfect, but the lines are starting to get shorter and we're actually building up here on the bullish side. So that's a good sign. Let's go to even a sooner or a closer time frame. Yeah, you can even see it here. These lines are starting to get taller. Even though the RSI is starting to turn a little bit red. So we could have maybe a small pullback just to cool off the RSI. I'm going to get a line here. Yeah. Alright, so I have that 32-cent line marked. It actually is about 32.5 cents if you want to be more precise with it. There you go. Much better. So, as I said with that 32-cent line, there's a little bit of data here. If we go back to May, okay. Okay, so there's going to be some decent resistance on that 32-cent area. It'd be nice for XRP to break it, but your next targets are really going to be that 35-cent and 38-cent area. Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at these touch points. It's going to be really hard, in my opinion, to see XRP to get above 40 cents. I know that's a pretty good jump from this area. Being that's 32 cents, that's just over 20%. Here, let's get our price tool. So if we go from our price here. Wow, okay, so that's going to be roughly about a 24% jump to get back above 40 cents. Yeah, 38 cents would be nice. I don't want to get too excited till we officially break and close a 4-hour candle above 35 cents. But this 38 cent area, there's going to be just a lot of resistance. It really wouldn't shock me to see us break 35 and then we honestly just consolidate a while. That would probably be the healthiest thing. I know it would be nice short term to see us rocket up to 40 cents, but we really need some areas of consolidation, because I've shown this for a while on my stream or my channel. Let's see, let's go to the daily. It's a little bit easier to see. There's just not a lot of data, at least on Binance there isn't. Maybe if I did a Bitcoin pair, it would show more data, but it's only showing June of last year. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Bittrex trade XRP before Binance? Yeah. There's just so many touch points in that 35 to 38 cent area. It would be really cluttered if I tried to sit here and make all these red lines. Honestly, I should just add a red box in this entire area. I think that would be a little bit more clear visually. So, support-wise on XRP, you're going to have your really, really strong support at 28 cents. You're going to have your psychological 30 cent support area. But we're pretty much facing it right now. 32.5 cents. We're trying our best to break it right now. But as we all know, if Bitcoin, decides this was just, the balance isn't legit and we go back under 10K, my guess is XRP would go back down. But if Bitcoin does go back up, I really could see XRP breaking this resistance area and we'll go up and test 35 cents. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I'm just not a fan of Bittrex, honestly. I didn't like their UI, and then by the time they updated their UI, what was it, roughly about a year and a half ago, I was so far past it. Honestly, I don't trade a lot of altcoins. The only really altcoin, which I don't even really trade it, per se, but I do participate in the DApp space a little bit. And so I guess I'll buy Tron every once in a while just to play some dApps. I'm more focused on Tron Bet right now for the simple fact of I don't know if you like sports or watch them, but they're going to have a sports betting book come out soon. So I'm kind of excited to see with NFL season coming up. Because that darn Bravado, it's a gambling website. You can bet with games, but they're really hard on U.S. customers. And so if they, if your IP address gets leaked, they'll shut your account down. So just because it's in the same class, actually, let's look up Litecoin. Litecoin's really weird. For the simple fact of a lot of times when Bitcoin's running up, Litecoin just kind of stays, kind of lags behind. So look at that. Had a nice bounce off the 618, roughly about that, just above it. See how... Yeah, alright. Just wanted to make sure I had the exact bottom and top on this fib retracement. So we had a nice bounce off the 618. This is your golden retracement. So when you're looking for bottoms... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got you on that, Luke. Yeah, honestly, that's why I haven't really bought Tron or participated in dApps in months. Honestly, I think the last dApp I played was... Oh, shoot. I guess I did that 888. I think that's what it was called, but... I don't know. There's dApps right now are just so they're just pump and dumps, and they're so heavily manipulated. And then with all the Justin Sun drama, you just really don't know what to believe. But no, TronBet's really the only dApp I would consider playing. It's the only one you're not going to get exit scammed on. But wow, this is beautiful. I know a lot of people say fib retracement doesn't work on cryptocurrency, but I really beg to differ. That's a beautiful bounce, and you saw I didn't really alter anything. I just made sure that I was on the exact bottom. Got a nice bounce off the 618, $70. And now we're headed up to the 382, which is roughly, that's that $99 area. If Bitcoin can continue moving up, I'm going to be eyeing the $115 area for Litecoin. But yeah, I'm glad you trade on Bybit. It's a great exchange. I love it. Now, I won't lie. Just being honest, with Bybit, I had a few issues on that crazy candle we had a week ago, where we went up like $1,300. I didn't really get a good fill on my stop loss. I didn't really take a huge loss on it, but I noticed I had slippage of like roughly $100. But that was a free candle. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the biggest dollar amount, candle in a short amount of time. What was it? Didn't it move up like $1,300 in a 15-30 minute period? It's pretty crazy. So with Litecoin here, we're holding that $85 support. We're facing our first area of resistance literally right now at that $98 area, right above our 382. But if we break that 382, you can see from these touch points, I don't want to clutter it too much on here. You can see where we have a touch point here, a few here, and then this little clutter right here. Let's see what that's at. It's roughly about that $105 area. If Bitcoin looks like it's going to top out, especially if you own Litecoin, if you bought the dip here, it's not financial advice, but you might take a little bit of the profit roughly, at that 105 area. But if we break that, which this data goes back from, what is that, mid-April? My next target would be about 100 and... let's see here. Yeah, about that 112. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. That 112 to 115 area. I don't really like to do precise sell targets just because exchanges really don't have an equilibrium between them. But no, especially if you bought that dip, selling at those first resistance points at $105 probably wouldn't be too bad of a it wouldn't be a bad idea. But first we got to break that 382. We're still sitting roughly about $4 under it. So I'm just kind of freeballing some coins right now. Is there anything else you guys trade or you'd like me to look at? I know, like I said, I really don't participate in, what's the word? I don't really participate in altcoins too much. But I know Chainlink. I know it's a pretty popular coin. I haven't looked at Chainlink in a while, so I'm just gonna be looking at some ideas real quick. Chainlink looks to be in the symmetrical triangle. Woo! There you go. But no, this is Market Cipher from CryptoFace. Not sure if you're familiar with it. But he has a pretty in-depth tutorial on what this indicator has and what it does. Just to give you a brief explanation, this yellow and the red, it's the money flow. Your red and green lines help you show not just divergences, but like it's the RSI. And then your blue lines right here, this is going to be your bearish momentum. And these blue lines up on top are going to be your bullish momentum. So it kind of helps you look at, when you're in a bull run, you can kind of tell, if you're reaching a temporary top. Like basically on this one, you can see on each sell-off, the selling momentum got lower and lower. Hence why we're kind of having a little bit of a bounce here. You can tell each time actually the selling got lower, we had a bounce. We had a nice decent one here. We actually got into the bull zone right here. Alright, so I know EOS. I know that's on Bybit. I honestly don't trade EOS, but see, I really want to see Bybit add some new coins. I've been kind of pushing them on it, because I am a Bybit affiliate, and they're basically giving me the option to do like special promotions. I have to okay it through my manager or my affiliate manager, whatever you want to call them. But I heard some news the other day that within the next 3 weeks they're supposed to allow coin swapping on all currencies. So if you have Bitcoin, you'll be able to switch to ETH. Because that's the only thing I think that is holding. It's the only thing that I think is holding Bybit back. Because Bitcoin, people don't always want to trade Bitcoin. Maybe ETH is looking like it has a good setup going. And it sucks because you have to have money on another exchange to be able to catch it, being that Bybit only does deposits and withdrawals 3 times a day. Yeah, I would like to see Bybit add Tron. But see, the only thing I think is hurting Tron is with all this negative news. You just don't even know what to believe. I mean, like yesterday was a good example. That dinner with Buffett. He reported having, kidney stones. But in reality, and then you see a news report saying that the Chinese government was holding him for like money laundering accusations. It's just there's so much fake news right now. It's just, I don't know. And not just that, but Tron has just been in a terrible downtrend. So looking at EOS right here, looks like we have pretty decent support at the $4 area. This is actually looking really bullish right here. If you see, not only do you have all these green dots, but if you look at this, look how sharp that is. And now we're moving into the bull zone. Let me zoom into this. You can see where we had the momentum is getting smaller, much smaller, and now we're in the bull zone. And if you look at the price movement, that's a nice. Let's get a price on that. Wow. So that's roughly a 38, almost 40% move right there. Not bad if you ask me. Sorry, I'm drawing this live. Like I said, I honestly don't trade altcoins. I need to move that down. And so the way I come up with these is, I'm not sure if you guys, or if you know how to chart and stuff like that, but the way I come up with my support and resistances is, you can see, you know, if you break support, it will become new resistance. Just like if you break resistance and close above it, theoretically it should become support. So you can see where these touch points are cluttered up. We have a bottom, and with these lines you can tell, you know, that obviously this has areas of value, whether that's up or down. Just depends on what the current price is. So looking at EOS, you're going to have roughly that $4 area for support. More short term, I think I might need to even move this down a tad bit lower. It's roughly about that $4.40 area. It's more of a short-term support. If we look at our chart, it goes back to about May. Or I'm sorry, actually, it goes back to March that we've had price action in this area. Get these lines set up. So with EOS, you're going to have the $4 and $4.40 with your first areas of resistance being, well, I mean, you're normally going to have your $5 psychological, you know, I guess it'd be resistance, but you're going to be at $5.50 and then $6. Let's look at Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin here, once again, we really need to break this 10,300 area. It looks like, based on Binance's price movement, current price, it looks like we're kind of struggling right now. But, you know, I don't put too much into the Binance charts. But these moving averages right here, looks like they're about to touch. So I want to see what happens. A lot of times we touch them and then we reject them. So, be interesting to see. But long term, even if we break above 10.3, we really need to break that 11,100 area, because we're really at risk right now. I mean, let's just say it gets rejected here. We're really at risk for making another lower high, and that would be extremely bearish. But looking at the 4 hour, the money flows green. The RSI is in the green, and we're showing less bearish momentum than we had prior. So those are all bullish signs. So right now, let's just focus on 10,300. I'm going to keep this area in mind, but it's just something to think about. Because if we do reject it, you know, you can see right here, it will be another lower high. But if we do break that 10.3, you can expect 10.8 to be our next major resistance. And then after that, you'll obviously have your 11,000. And see, honestly, I kind of want to move this a bit higher. It looks like 11,000, just above 11,050. Oh, it's not what I want. Almost had a double top there. But no, if we can successfully break just above 11,000, I guess it'd be about 11,050. Our next area would be 11,200. But, you know, short term, we really need to focus on 10.3. I don't like how we have this candle, how it's getting rejected right now. But it's still very early. Because to be completely transparent, I thought we were going to have a bounce, but I didn't think we were going to be above 10,000 already. Let's look at our closer time frames. Nice looking candle. And see, look at this too. So on the shorter time frame, you can see where we had our bullish momentum here, and now it's even higher. So that shows we're building some bullish buying pressure. Alright, it's like a little bit of a trigger wave. Small little dip and bam, immediately back up. So what? I'm just curious, for my Bybit users, did you guys come from BitMEX or did you just start with Bybit? Honestly, I fled to Bybit. Or I'm sorry, I fled to Bybit from BitMEX. I mean, I understand businesses need to be about profit, but I'm almost 100% sure they hedge against their customers to make money off liquidation fees. I'm not a huge fan of Arthur Hayes. That's really bullish as well. Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me. I hate BitMEX. I honestly really do not even know why people use BitMEX. When your own company that you use hedges against you, it's like, I almost compare it to the banking crisis we had in 2008 when they were giving people loans and then hedging against them with the credit default swaps. Yeah, Bybit's and the thing I really like about Bybit is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the exchange, or I'm sorry, the exchange Kraken or Kraken. Not sure what it's officially called, but their support is terrible. Kraken, like, you would ask a question and they would literally, I'm not even joking, they would respond 12 to 18 hours later, and usually they would require more information that was pointless, that would extend your wait time even more. And Kraken is just like BitMEX with the liquidating candles. Like, I wonder if it'll pop up on here. There was a, I believe Litecoin just recently had a huge flash crash on Kraken. Do they even have it on here? Kraken. Here it is. I want to see if it's on here. I know people were talking about it. I left Kraken. Yeah, see this? Look at this right here. Could you imagine hovering in this $95, $97 area and then having a freak flash crash to $70? That is insane. I don't understand. And that's the only one thing I don't like about Bybit that I wish they would change is they base their price, like their index price. Kraken is one of their exchanges they use. That's why roughly a week ago, when we initially were dipping under 10,000 and we had that crazy bull flash to like 10,004 and liquidated all those people, it was because the Kraken exchange went down, but yet they were reporting information and it just absolutely screwed with Bybit. I'm telling you, I really think I would really like to see Bybit get rid of Kraken as part of their index pricing. I'm really not a fan of Kraken. As well with BitMEX, but since I'm a U.S. citizen, you know, Kraken's one of, you know, I was forced to use when I first started leverage trading. But yeah, Kraken, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry, Bybit, they get their price from Coinbase, Bybit gets their prices from Kraken, Coinbase, and what's the other exchange? It's Bitthumb. Let me look on here. I'll know it right when Bitstamp. I think that's the three exchanges they base their price from. I'd really like to see that get changed. I'm gonna get this music going again. Sorry if it comes with a preview. It'll be just 2 seconds. YouTube in there. See, I have YouTube music, but all right. But yeah, it's nice to see some Bybit users. It really is. I've been trying my best. You know, I don't even care if people use my my affiliate link. It's more or less, you know, because this whole channel is to help people out. You know. Oh yeah, Australia. I've heard that. Lucky. So, Luke, you said you're from Australia. Do you get to participate in the Binance IEOs? I was just wondering if you've ever, or if, I mean, I know you said you only use Bybit, but I'm not honestly sure if Australia's on the ban list or not. But see, I'm not honestly even sure how the Binance IEOs go, because they keep calling them like lotteries, and it's like, is not everyone allowed to participate? I don't know. Being a U.S. citizen, I haven't really spent too much time looking into it because I'm banned. And since it's a KYC exchange, you know, a VPN isn't going to save me. So yeah, Bitcoin's trying right now. We're pushing. $10.2 is going to be our first resistance. Actually, I need to move that on. So $10.2, but really this downward sloping pressure. Basically, every time we have it, we just get pushed down. It's going to be roughly about, well, it's going to be just above 10,200. I really like us to see these lines. I've noticed with Bitcoin, once we seem to break these lines, we really get some bullish pressure. And we're already showing the divergence here on Market Cipher B. Let's take a look at Market Cipher A. I'll let you, I'll show you guys how spot on this is. Now, it took me a while to learn Market Cipher. You know, because I love Crypto Face. I love his channel, but the only thing I don't agree with it is how he says you don't need any trading experience. Our laws in place here. Yeah, our laws are in place here for crypto exchanges report our earnings to government. Yeah. See, in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken, I think they, like, I'm pretty sure every event is a taxable event. So, like, if I was to send you crypto, that's taxable. If I buy crypto, sell it, that's taxable. If I switch from Bitcoin to ETH, it's taxable. It really sucks. That's why I've been trying. There's not much I can do, but I've really been hoping, especially with our president, I was hoping we would get some type of regulation, you know, something positive, but it seems like they're more worried about it and seeing how they can crack down on it rather than regulate it, which is shocking. But getting back onto the market cipher A, you know, honestly, it's taken me a little bit to learn this. I know he says you don't really need a lot of trading experience, but I've traded for years, and it's... So if you look at these indicators, market cipher A is a lagging indicator. So even though you see it calling this top right here, that doesn't mean when we were sitting here, this X was actually there. So it's a bit confusing. Excuse me. So if you look at the longer time frame like we're on now, it kind of gives you the idea like you're never, like it's never wrong at any time. Now granted, it's usually right. So what I've learned with market cipher A is I go through the higher time frames. Well, I even do it with B as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think he's definitely scared of cryptocurrency. Honestly, I think the entire Fed is, I mean, we've never had a president, you know, I don't get political on the stream, but we've never had a president that had so much power over the stock market, in my opinion, until Trump became, you know what I mean? He tweets about stocks, he tweets about the Federal Reserve. I think he has little ways of pumping the market that most presidents really never, you know, had before or tried. So that's, you know, I stopped, you know, because I started trading options in 2014, and I haven't, since he came to office, I stopped trading, you know, because it just takes one tweet, you know, one, you know, news release, and you could be really, you know, screwed. So, you know, since 2017, I've been fully into cryptocurrency. I've used the charting and everything I've learned in trading, and I've brought it to crypto. But looking at market cipher A here, these, yeah. See, what I want to know is like, so if you're the president, are you allowed to like purchase? Are you still allowed to like participate in the stock market? Because in a way, he could technically, you know what I mean? Like if he's gonna bash the Fed, you could go long on gold. You know, I'm not sure how the regulation or rules work with that. But the way he sometimes talks, you know, you could definitely make a killing, but I think that would honestly be considered insider trading. But who knows? Whew. But you can see here, the red X's represent short signals. The blood diamonds, they represent a change in pattern, like where you're generally going to turn bearish. The red dots, it's a buy zone. Let's see if I can find. I have some of them hidden. Let's go into the settings real quick. I got rid of some of these just because it was a little cluttered. So the brown diamonds, they represent a basically like, so let's say you're really bullish. These diamonds indicate that, or I'm sorry, the brown ones indicate that you're in a bullish continuation pattern, and the blue ones mean that you're reversing your prior trend. So you can see here, it kind of called, you know, we jumped up. It's never going to be 100%. I don't really put too much faith into the blue triangles, but see if I can find a good one. Generally, if I see a blue triangle, I'm going to wait for the next pump, and then I'll short or long, you know, depending. Because all this means is you're reversing your prior trend. You're getting close. So you have your pump, you have your blue triangle, you have a little minor pump, and then we reverse our price action. Similar to here. You see your triangle, you'll pump a little bit more, and then you'll go back down. So yeah, we're not really seeing much on Market Cipher A right now. Yeah, the indicator's a little bit expensive. Luckily, I got Market Cipher when Bitcoin was in like the 8,000s. So, what was that? Like $800? It's not too bad. But, you know, I like CryptoFace. You know, the only thing I don't really like about it is he only seems to show his wins. I mean, granted, I've seen him get wrecked on stream before. I say wrecked. I've seen him make bad trades. But I would really like to see how his brain works when, you know what I mean, like doing live trading, like for instance, like something like right now. Because he only seems to go live when he's up, you know, a ton. Or he does an $800,000 long, you know, when he's already up, you know, over 10%. You know, I want to see him how he thinks about, because what I've noticed with A and B on Market Cipher is they condescend each other a lot. And especially with A, let's see if I can, let's go to a closer time frame. I'll show a good example. Okay, right here. This is a perfect one. Do you see how you have your red short indicator right here? Let's see what the price was. Sitting at 9,739. So we roughly fell about $50. And between that $50 mark, you went from a short to a buy green dot. Yeah, I saw that trade yesterday. Yeah, I also saw he went long on some trade at like 11.9 a few weeks ago, and by the end of the stream, it was like 11.6. He's like, oh, I had to take my dog out, you know, abruptly left. I was like, yeah, he's panicking, which I would too. My God, I would not sleep if I had an 800,000. My God, even if I had a $20,000, you know, I guess I haven't looked at his trading book. Like whenever he shows his position, I don't know what kind of leverage he uses. I don't know if he actually has that money, or if he's doing 100x long positions or shorts. I guess it really just depends on how leveraged he is. But this is my big issue with Market Cipher A, is there's a lot of condescending indicators right here. You have your red X, and then, you know, $30, $40 lower, you see a green buy signal. And once again, these are lagging indicators, so you know what I mean? You really got to be on your toes. Let's see what A... and that's the thing, like even here, when we had this jump, even though it had the green dot, if you look on your bullish side right now... Wow, it's a little cluttered. Sorry about that. If you look at this right here, this is your bullish pattern up here. This is like your bullish momentum. It's lower. And then, but yet we still went higher. Now, granted, though, I guess we do have this right here. Yeah, he is a genius. That's why I'm saying I really want to see him do like live trades on the spot, not go on when it's already, you know, he's already positioned. I just want to see how his brain works when he's, you know, basically how he goes about looking at A and B and making decisions. Yeah, with his volatile personality, that's what made me kind of scared whenever when I was trying to learn A and B. I was like, man, I've traded for years. There's no way someone with no trading experience could use this indicator. They would have to have a lot of, I mean, this is like 5, 6, 7 indicators in one. So there, I mean, there's a lot to look at. I mean, even still now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've mastered it. I definitely have not. It's just little tricks I found. And then ones, you know, that I've gotten from watching his videos. But I want to see how he analyzes A and B and then makes trades live on stream. But then once again, you face having the issue of, you know, if you're wrong, you're going to have people mock you. You're going to have people doubt your indicator. So, I mean, I understand why he does it. I mean, I think a lot of people expect these indicators to never be wrong. But the way I look at it, as long as Market Cipher is right at least 60% of the time, you know, I'm good with it. Now, do I go all in when I see these dots? No. I usually like to wait for a second red, or I'm sorry, a green dot before I ever start a position. So you can see here, we're actually forming a trigger wave. If you watch CryptoFace, or I guess you said you did, but we're forming one right here. If you look at the price where it went off, this might have already been the reaction. But if we zoom in, we could be forming one right here. So if we can get something like that, oh yeah, I'll definitely be buying this. And then the fact, you see how these are converging to the upside? That's your RSI. And then our money flow, if you see your money flow, it was red, and now we're back into the green. Oh, I'm sorry, the yellow. So that's another bullish sign. And this is the 2 hours, so oop. There you go. I don't know why that exited out. So it's just something to look after. The bullish indicators, they're slowly leaking into the smaller time. The smaller time frames they're leaking into the longer ones. So we're holding our bullish momentum right now. It's the thing I'm kind of watching out for. Is the thing I'm worried about, because Market Cipher has done this a lot, is instead of forming a pattern like this, it's really been known for doing something like this and then drastically going to the downside. And, you know, with a situation like that, you would be, you know, this would be a bearish indicator because it shows the bearish, you know, the bearish momentum is getting stronger. So, you know, I'm a very patient trader. I don't rush into trades. I would, because, you know, with Bybit, as you know, you have to hold Bitcoin anyway. I would rather just accumulate earnings with my Bitcoin and miss out than gamble. Especially like a position right now. You can see where we're turning white right here, so it looks like we're trying to round off. The thing I would like to see is us start to poke something up here. You know, preferably something much bigger, but this is our bull side up here. And our RSIs are pointing up, but they're still red. This is the 2 hour, by the way. I usually only use the 4 hour and the daily for, you know, longer trend analysis when I'm trying to find the trend pattern as a whole. But since I'm a day trader, I guess since I really started using Market Cipher, I trade between the 5 minute and the 2 hour most of the time. Let's see how we're looking. Let's check the 5 minute just for fun. So it's very possible we'll sit here and we'll form what will end up being a bull flag. I don't really like doing bull flags though on the 5 minute. You know, honestly, before I got Market Cipher, I would never even consider trading on the 5 minute. But CryptoFace said, you know, that is the best way to catch Market Cipher moves before they happen. So I basically just had to learn. So something I'm going to be watching here. This is just short term, so I'm not gonna leave this on the chart. Let's see. It's not perfect. This line's a little big. Here, I'm gonna shrink the size of this. See what this looks like if I move it up. Just kind of free balling this right now. Alright, well, okay. So it's not going to be perfect. Especially with the price point that we're at right now. I'm going to be watching the 9,900, 9,050 area. I'd really like to buy this dip. Or the short-term dip we might be getting. You can see where we're kind of starting to form a small little dip right here. The thing I fear though is this could be a trap. There's just so many things that could be happening right now. So based on what market cipher shows on these lower time frames, I may buy a little bit at 9,950, maybe even 9,900. But seeing that we really didn't break past 10,100 with a lot of momentum, this could be a way to artificially create sellers since we kind of ran out of selling power. Ooh. I'm gonna shut the door real quick. Just give me a second. Alright. Sorry about that. My dogs are barking. There must be someone outside. Alright. So we're sitting at that 10,040 area. I got a German Shepherd, so that dog, he barks at literally everything. He's a hybrid German Shepherd Belgian Malinois, so he's a huge dog. Alright, so sitting at that 10,040. I got a German Shepherd, so that dog, he barks at literally everything. He's a hybrid German Shepherd Belgian Malinois, so he's a huge dog. So what are you guys up to tonight? Are you trying to buy this? Are you bullish or bearish at these price points? We're basically just in chill mode now. We kind of made our bounce, so it's just kind of wait and see right now. I know it's kind of boring, but I'm not really sure if I want to be buying exactly right here, but got my other dog here now too. Look at that, we got a nice little cluster. Oh yeah, nice pickup. 30 cents would be a nice area. See, and that's part of the reason I've been on Bybit to get their coin swaps right now. Because I really wanted to get some XRP, but the darn transfer times they have. I mean, granted, it's better than BitMEX, but it would have been nice to swap Bitcoin for XRP when we were hovering. Let's look at XRP. Let's see how they're doing. All right. Let's point it a little high. All right, so you can see where we have these touch points right here, here, and then here. We need to break that 32.5 cent area. If we break that, the next area target is going to be 35 cents. Looking at the 2 hour, and this is really good for XRP. You can see where the divergences got smaller, on the longer time frame from July 8th. And now you're showing not only is your RSI and your money flow in the green, but you're showing bullish momentum right now. It's really small, but everything has to start somewhere. And look at that. You got snake eyes right here. Money flows green. Bullish momentum. You can see it right here. It's looking good. And like I said, they should have that coin swap ready by, I think they said 2 to 3 weeks max. So that'll be nice. If we're able to swap between all 4 currencies, I just wonder if there's going to be a fee for that. I would hope not. All right. But yeah, we need to break that 32.5 area, and 35 cents will be our next target. And then after that, if we happen to close, I don't want to see, if we break 35 cents though, I would like to see a 4-hour close above it and preferably build some type of support above it. So I'm trying to grow the channel a little bit, so I'm trying to figure out the YouTube algorithms. But, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit that like button. I noticed I've done a lot of research, and, they look at comments, they look at the likes, dislikes, and it's the biggest way to get YouTube algorithms to show your videos. And because I've been talking to a lot of the crypto YouTubers, and I don't know if we're just being exiled or what. But the Martini guy, he has a pretty good, he talks a lot. See, I like the Martini guy. It's not just for his technical analysis. He doesn't do a lot of it, but he does more of the crypto news. He actually even exposed the BitConnect 2.0 guy, which was really funny. He did a ton of research, and he even went to the point he exposed a picture of him. I don't know how he found the picture, but it was hilarious. I mean, I can't believe anyone would even fall for the BitConnect 2.0, but I know he's struggling with the YouTube algorithm pretty hard right now. It's kind of funny. He's like, I can stream on my computer, but I can't stream from my phone. I don't really know what makes the difference. Yeah. Yeah, XRP, we need a whale. If anyone has a whale call, it might be a useful time. Let's see here. Just seeing if I... See, it's hard with XRP because since it's only a 32-cent asset, it could get so cluttered writing all these resistances down. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I hate scammers. There's just so many scammers out there, especially with the cryptocurrency. I think that's really what's hurting the institutional money and the overall just trust You know, because when I talk to a lot of my family members or, you know, friends about cryptocurrency, the only thing they seem to talk about is, you know, like the Silk Road, the drug and money laundering. And then the Trump tweet a while back, that didn't really help out. You know, so it's just, there's just this negative persona that surrounds cryptocurrency. And these scammers are not really helping the situation out. Yeah, it really is. See, what I want to see though, I really want to look into the Binance IEO thing, but it really makes no sense to me. Like the whole lottery ticket thing, like because I know U.S. citizens are banned from it, and I know we're banned from like the ICOs and stuff. Because I know that that was the definition of the Wild West. I was watching the what's the show called? Social Network. It's the Facebook show that they made about Mark Zuckerberg. I felt so out of touch, but I had no idea the Winklevoss twins had anything to do with Facebook. But I watched a video they had on YouTube, and they were saying that's why they built Gemini, was to take the Wild Wild West out of crypto trading, because no one understood why they took a lot of their Facebook, you know, the money they earned from their settlement, and they invested into Bitcoin. It's one of the ways they gained a lot of their wealth to become billionaires, which, you know, that's pretty cool. Granted, I'm pretty sure they were rich to begin with, but so yeah, looks like XRP's trying. But yeah, if you bought at that 30-cent area, that was a good buy. I'm honestly considering, I mean, it really just depends on how Bitcoin acts above 10,000 or just under it. But I might actually consider liquidating some of my Bitcoin to buy XRP in this 28 to 30 cent range. Stop loss at 26? Yeah. Because I've talked about this for a while. You say you have it at 26. Like, see, being the exchanges are in equilibrium, that's probably pretty close. If you see these two touch points we have back here, 25 cents is basically your last area. And then after that, you're going to be just like Tron, and you're going to be in price discovery mode. I would really hate to see XRP test 25 cents. That will get very, very scary. I'll show you on the daily. This is what I'm talking about. See how there's just nothing? It's just empty right here. But yeah, you got these two touch points here at 25 cents. If you break 25 cents, it's not gonna be pretty. But no, I'm really considering liquidating some of my Bitcoin to buy this 28, 30 cent area if XRP decides to go and test it. Because in terms of profit, XRP was one of the coins I made my most money on during the last bull run. I think I bought between 25 and 28 cents, and I sold above, I think I started selling above $1. You know, so it was pretty nice gains. I think I sold like at $1.80. Sorry about that. I live in a country town, so everybody seems to have these big diesel trucks. My dogs are always barking at them. And even on the daily here, CryptoFace talks about this quite a bit. And it's a really good sign to show on the daily. you have a trigger wave right here. And that's honestly sitting right, yeah, right at that 30-cent range. So it's just something to watch out for. The money flow is still flat on the daily. We have a trigger wave in the process of finishing out. You can see where we're turning white. So that shows it. You can tell when the white is, it's about to round off. Now that doesn't mean it can't end and then form a bigger one. But this is really good. What you want to see though is you want to start seeing this pop up. You know, you want to see it go onto this side over here. That shows that the bullish momentum will be building and we'll snap out of this, because you can see from what is that? Oh wow. So when we were above the 50-cent area, we really started building. And on the daily, this was building beautifully. It wasn't perfect. It's not as slight or, you know, as down as you would want it. But this is the bullish momentum. We came up, we built a smaller wave, went a little negative here. I guess it was pretty negative. And then we had our second wave right here. And then we had a massive sell-off. You have 3 humps there that were smaller. They got smaller as they, you know, as they were building. So I really use Market Cipher B much more than I do A. See what the moving averages are showing. Now this is the daily. So let's see, that would be the pink. So your pink right here will be your 30 smooth moving average. And then your, I call it the Tron Blues 100. So you have your 30 and your 100 that are crossing here. Right there. And then these are the ones I generally play. So your green is going to be your 5 day, and then your red's going to be your 10. These are more for swing trading. So nice to see these possibly, you know, converge to the upside. Something like that. We could that'll, honestly, seeing this right now, I want to see it get more rounded. The red's a little flat right now on the daily. Let's look at the 4-hour. Okay, that's exactly what I was talking about. You see how perfectly rounded that is? That is beautiful. So if this red, okay, let's see what the yellow. So your yellow is going to be your 20 right here. If we can get the 5 and the 20-day moving average, if we can get this to keep moving up, and so basically by the time this is here, oh, sorry, not the indicator. So if we can get this to stay like that, and this one goes up and crosses it, I believe that's going to be the trigger to make us blast through 32.5. Honestly, if those cross, that's what's going to, in my opinion, will push us to 35 cents. Wow, the 4-hour looks nice. You have your nice rounded bottom. I really like to see this. Bitcoin right now is going back up to 10,100. I'm telling you, everything's there. It's going to take a few hours. So, like I said, it may not all happen in one jump. But you have all the ingredients are all there. Bitcoin just can't ruin the party right now. Bitcoin can't ruin the party. Or I say it can't. You don't want it to. But if everything stays like this, especially if Bitcoin goes up to 10.3, I think you're going to have a nice ride to possibly 35 cents. That's really nice. And it's looking at the longer trend, if you bought here, I mean, wow, you literally bought the bottom perfectly at 30 cents. Good job. Seriously. That's one to pat yourself on the back. You can see right when the white started showing and started rounding off on the top. Boom. Immediately shot up. Maybe not immediately, but you get it. That's nice. Man, honestly, not even lying. Kind of got me considering maybe sending my funds off to Binance to put into XRP and back to Bybit. I kind of want to trade XRP right now and give Bitcoin a break. It's by far the most oversold, so it has the most room to, to recover. What time is it? 9? Damn. I already missed the first cutoff. Actually, what is the time in UTC? 2? So, 8. Yeah, crap. So their next one isn't for another like 6 hours. Or I guess it'd be 5.5. I should have kept some XRP on Bybit. I've been just so concentrated on Bitcoin right now. Ugh. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. We seem to have the same trading strategy, Luke. That's good to hear. I'm really just a risk-reward trader. I mean, yeah, I do look at these indicators and stuff, but I basically weigh the indicators. I see what they're telling me, and then I consider what's the risk if the pattern fails and what's the upside. All right. So let's check Binance right here. 10,068. All right. Cause here, see what this bounce was like. I'm gonna get the moving averages off. What is that? 31, 34. Okay, so that's still a good bounce. Market Cipher B, honestly, I could do just fine without Market Cipher A. If I just had B, that's all I'd ever need, really. Even though A is pretty decent at calling short positions. Let's see what it's showing, actually. I'd be interested to see. Alright, so you have your blood diamond, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's time to start shorting or turn bearish. If you look here, you can see how we have our diamond here. It fell literally not even that much. You have one here. You fell roughly like half a cent. And honestly, if you look at these, the patterns, and this is like why I don't put too much sediment in the diamonds, really. You see how they all kind of look similar? So, Market Cipher B. So A is this one up here. B is like, it's one indicator, but it has like 5 indicators in one. It has like your MACD, your money flow index. It has your RSI. Oh gosh, I know I'm missing some. Like I said, I'm still learning this indicator. It's so sophisticated. But no, this bottom one is Market Cipher B. I really use it to look for trend patterns. Whenever the way I look at it is like when Bitcoin's falling, and people are calling for, you know, oh, we're correction 50%, when it looks like we're going to zero. This is like the light in the darkness. Just kind of like when things are doing too good to be true, or, you know, and it's really decent for calling basically trend reversals, or when things are, you know, when you should be being more cautious. Let me find let's go to Bitcoin. I'll be able to find a much better one. Bitcoin has had a bearish divergence building for a long time. Okay, so if you look at this price action up here, all right. It's not. Let's go to the daily. This is what I've been talking about. So if you look at the date or at the market cipher B here, every bullish momentum push has been getting smaller and smaller. And now, I mean, you can even see the last little push we had, you know, they're getting small. So seeing that all these have a little edge next to them, I'm waiting for the next push. But it could get pretty darn bearish if we go back up here and maybe fail at 10,800 again. And then, you know, we'll form our, you know, our little hook. I know I'm not an artist, so I'm sorry, but do you see how these, you have your big one and then you have like the small one on the corner? You have your big one, small one on the corner. This is what this is. This is what I'm kind of watching out for. So even if we get a nice little push, you know, if we fail at 11 or 10,800, it could get really darn bearish. I might honestly think about shorting if we go back up to 11,000 again. And if we look at our price action, this is the latest push we had. It was even here on our last push when we went to 20,000. You can see where it was down sloping there. Honestly, for a lot of that year, you can see right here, we finally went to the bearish, you know, the bearish zone down here. And then if you look at market cipher B from here to here, this is where we had our jump right here. I don't know. It's a little handy indicator. It's, you know, like I said, I'm still learning it. I'm not going to sit here and say I have mastered market cipher. But this is the thing I'm watching out for right now. Here, I'm going to redo these. Especially looking at the daily, because it's nice to see the trend as a whole. We are forming lower highs. You have your high here. You have your high here. This is still too early to tell, because this could be like similar to this, how we had our reaction down and then went back up and then went higher. So I don't want to call this a lower high yet. Once again, that's why I'm going to be watching market cipher B to see if we go back up and then go back down. So then we would have, you know, we'd be able to form another lower high. It's just something to watch out for. You know, nothing's a crystal ball, but it's an easy way, or not an easy way, but it's a way to dictate, you know, past price performance for future, you know, movement. But yeah, on the daily here, we're still showing some bearish divergence on the bullish momentum up here. But this is the daily. Anything can change. You can even see we're now building some negative momentum. But it's getting flat here, so we could easily fill this back down and go up to the upside again. And the price would still go up, but maybe we go up and hit that again before going back down. It's all very possible.
Anything can change. You can even see we're now it's negative momentum. But it's getting flat here, so we can easily fill this back out.
All right. Well, I won't lie, my stomach's kind of letting me know it's dinner time. I kind of skipped eating dinner tonight. Right when I was going to try to make something quick, and then I saw the Bitcoin price action. I was like, yeah, I got to hop on. So is there any, I know you said you just trade the coins on Bybit, but, you know, is there anything else you can think of that you would like me to analyze or, you know, talk about before I get off and maybe make some dinner? I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow morning. I'll probably, or what is it, 11 a.m. Eastern. So that'd be 10 o'clock my time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And, you know, if we get some crazy price action again tonight, I will for sure jump back on, especially after eating dinner.
I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow.
Yeah, no, thank you for tuning in, Luke. I appreciate, talking to you. It has been a good stream. So, good luck to you. Be safe out there. And I will see you, like I said, if we get a good jump tonight, or even if we turn bearish, I'll jump back on. But worst case, I will see you. I'll be back on 11 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow morning. So, thank you.
Good luck to you.